Hey YouTube, JoshNader219 here with another video. This one is going to be showing you how to install your motor, brushed or brushless, doesn't really matter, and it can be any other company, or it can be any company. I have the Valenian motor just because I love it and it's waterproof, and so this is going to be showing you how to install it and how to set your gear mesh. Okay, so the first thing you're going to want to do is find these two little flathead screws. But with brushed motors, it's not going to be a hex. It's going to be silver and with a Phillips head. And they both do the same thing. And you can use either or for either type of motor. I have these just because they came with the motor, my Valenian system. So the first thing you're going to want to do is put your motor in. And in there, make sure that this hole lines up with the hole in the motor. So, come on. Okay, right now I have it all lined up. Hold it in place. And then you're going to take your 5/64 inch hex wrench. This is Team Anti-G. They have some really good parts and some really bad parts. These are one of the really good ones. Aluminum handle, titanium nitride coated shafts. They do bend a teeny bit. Haven't stripped them. I've had them for about 2 years now. Still awesome. And then make sure that your hole is still lined up, or your holes are still lined up. And put the screw in. And screw it in there. Okay, don't torque it down all the way, because, well, first of all, you might strip your screw, which is no fun, and you still want to be able to move it so you can adjust your gear mesh later. So then you find your other little flathead screw, and screw that one in too. Just like with the other screw, don't torque it down. You can do that later. And I use an Anti-G heatsink. I love it. I like the color a lot, and I like the design. Although it doesn't really help that much, even though you'd think that there'd be a ton of airflow coming over here. There might be, but it's not really keeping the motor temperatures down. And also, since I use the heatsink, I can't have my motor wires up here. Well, I could, but I don't really like them coming out of the motor and then sticking straight up, because that's how you can tear your wires and rip the connections under this cap. So then I make my motor sideways so I can and I make my motor sideways so I can just clip that on. And I also had to modify the transmission case just a little bit, but that's super duper easy, and it's free. Okay, so back to this, and now I will put on my pinion. I use a, can you read that? Come on. There we go. 26 tooth pinion and an 86 tooth spur. I got really good speed on this, even on a 3S LiPo. I got good speed, and my temperatures aren't sky high. They're pretty high, but that's normal for a brushless, and I'm mainly just doing speed runs. Ay, whoops. My bad. Hit the tripod. Okay, touch. Oh, better. Okay. Okay. I was using a different pinion before, so my little itsy bitsy grub screw was in my 19-tooth pinion. So now you can take like the little hole in there, any little grub screw, put it in there, screw it in just a little bit. You don't want it to be like that. You want it to be somewhat like that, because you don't want it to stick out, otherwise it won't go onto the shaft. And then there's this little flat spot on the motor, or on the motor shaft. Make sure that that's where your grub screw is, and push it down, and then you can torque down that grub screw, but don't strip it, because those are a pain in the ass to get out. And so then now put your spur on. You can line up these holes, and then take your, what size is this, 3/32 inch hex wrench. Again, I need to G with it. It's purple, not blue. And then you can start screwing them in there. Okay, and so now the fun part, setting, come on, stay still, setting your gear mesh. Okay, so the little teeth on both the gear mesh is the distance between your teeth. You don't want them to be super duper far apart like this, because you don't want them to be super far apart like that, because then when you try and do an awesome wheelie, you're just going to strip your spur gear, which is not fun at all either. So then, and you don't want it to be jam-packed in there, because then you're going to overheat your motor and burn it out. So you kind of want to find the sweet spot, and at first, if you're just kind of beginning, you might want to, here's my paper. Do the paper trick. You stick a piece of notebook paper in between, and then you, come back. And then you want it to be ridged like that, but you want there to be prints on the paper, but you don't want it to be broken. Like, you don't want holes to be torn in it. And this right here is perfect. So then you can throw away the paper, and then you can torque your screws down. But make sure you hold the motor, because if you torque them down, the motor might want to move on you. So there you go. That's how you do your gear mesh. Please comment, rate, and subscribe. Thanks.